Barry, you already know what's going to happen. I'm going to take your glory away as easily as I took away your starting pitcher position on our softball team. I'm projected to win by 4, but I mean, come on, you're Barry. You are probably going to be drinking too much and forget to set your lineup. I plan on taking your soul like the DMV took away your license. I will beat you.
Try to hide it, but we all know, Pete, you've got a fear boner raging in your pants. Fear boner, do not be afraid.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, a day late and almost always $1 short, but nonetheless, here we are. Welcome to the YoMo Fantasy League Week 7 recap. Commish, you out there somewhere?
Oh, hello! You know I'm here.
Yeah. Something tells me you're going to be in a good mood again today, which I am as well.
Not to
So
say
okay.
it's sweat, but I'm still in a good mood.
Well, welcome to the show, Commish. Good to
Absolutely,
talk to you.
Marcus. Thanks for having me on my own show. I appreciate it. And crazy week we had, right? Awesome.
Oh, absolutely. I got to tell you, if it was up to me and I was a commissioner, this show would be all about me this week.
I fully agree.
It would be all about
I fully
me.
agree.
I put
That's something that you would do.
Yeah.
But anyways, I know everyone knows we're a day late, so let's start rolling in on the weekly awards for Week 7.
Go for it.
And of course, like every week, Marcus, you know it, and I know it, and the tens and tens of people watching know we start off with our GM of the week. And I'll tell you what, it's a crazy weekend, right? Ups, downs, spin arounds, injuries, hot takes, bad takes, terrible announcing, and it all comes down to really, I mean, fantasy is really what it all comes down to. But when we talk about GM of the week, there's a lot of guys that aren't even in here, so they're probably fast forwarding through this part, and they're getting me going. Anyways, I gotta say, this guy takes a lot of grief, especially from Aaron. You know it for sure. But for years and years, this guy gets ripped on, up and down, all around, and some of it, it's worth it. But finally, this past week, he got his comeuppance, if you know what I mean. But hey, dang,
who is it?
You know what, Marcus? You talk about poking the wrong bear, and he.
Yes. I like it.
Non-consensually destroyed multiple holes in Aaron's lineup. And you know what? Not since the 80s summer camp has someone been massacred so bad by 80 points. 80 points.
Jeez,
I mean, honestly, Marcus, I don't even know how Aaron is walking right now. How is he walking? I mean...
Well, we don't know that he is. He may not be.
He didn't just give him a DP, if you know what I mean. He gave him the whole gang. No Diddy. But...
Yeah. That
what's even funnier that you don't realize this, it may... Aaron actually had to go and puke in the middle of our softball playoffs on Tuesday night. That's how bad it was.
Whoa,
right?
Gosh. Yeah. All that stuff coming back up. Yeah, they leave it in there. It's inconsiderate, but they leave it in there, and then you got to get it out. Yeah,
he's sitting there right now, and he's thinking about it. You're a shoe-in for GM of the week, Bear. This would be your second of the season already. Incredibly. With all the crap we give you, for you to win 2 GMs of the week is outstanding, right?
Absolutely. Congratulations, Barry.
It's not you.
Whoa,
well,
really?
There's this other guy in this league, right? He also takes a lot of grief,
No, okay.
especially from Aaron. But Big Bear, I think you'll agree on this
Yeah,
one
true.
that if anybody in this league gets to take down the big bad Bali bully after a shocking Monday night for the record books, it deserves GM of the week. And down 56 points after Sunday with only 2 guys left. One of the greatest twist endings that would have made M. Night Shyamalan jealous. But what it did do is it pissed off our own N. Night Shyamalan and dropped him to 5-2. Marcus, the bad guy, I have not seen anything like it. I mean, Tank Dell played the role of Casper the Ghost on his bench, and Halloween's not even for a few days, bro. No need to ghost tech support like that, Tank. But hey, that's what happens when you sit on hold for too long with tech support. You disappear like Kaiser Sose, and
That's for
especially
sure.
when you had a potential G-Pow on the bench. With 17 points, which would have made this whole GM of the week a moo point.
A moo point?
Yeah, it's like a cow's opinion. It just doesn't matter. It's moo.
So, thank you, Habib,
Yeah.
and congratulations. Say goodnight to the bad guy, GM of the week.
I got to tell you, thank you first off, and secondly, if I could just share with everybody, I got to tell you, I was so mad. You put this thing together, and you know what should work and what shouldn't work, and for all intents and purposes, there shouldn't have been anything to worry about Monday night, and so I was just so disgusted Sunday. My mood was ruined, and then I remembered that great classic. You ever see Moneyball?
One of my favorites.
One of my favorite movies. So, and then you know what I decided? I said, you know what? I'm going to Billy Bean tonight. I put these clowns together. I'm not gonna stress about it anymore. I know what these guys can do, and I didn't check. I didn't look at anything. It was hard, but I just nope. I stayed on the treadmill and I watched some TV show all night. Didn't check the phone all night, and then woke up the next morning to like, holy cow! I missed out a lot of the ebb and flow and worrying about it and enjoying those moments. But I had to Billy Bean it. It was the best thing I could come up with at the time because I was in a bad state early
Marcus,
Sunday afternoon.
over the years where the Eagles were on bye and I just didn't watch football. And I waited till 4:30, 5 o'clock to even look at the roster. And 9 times out of 10, my guys killed it for me that week that I didn't watch. So, but I would like you to say, from the commissioner to the guy who runs this podcast a little bit, tell everybody out in land what I texted you going into Monday night.
Yeah, you did tell me Lamar was due for a big game, and I got to tell you too. Haji may have messed up because he sent that text from Lamar to the group chat that Lamar was due to have a bad game. Maybe he put the Maloika on himself. Notice I didn't take the bait. I didn't say anything about it. I let my guys do their business on the field, and good for them. But I was ecstatic.
If there's one thing you learn or get out of this podcast of your mom is it's never safe to talk trash, right, Aaron?
I don't think that's going to stop him, but you're absolutely right. So, but it was fun. I will say this: you did send a nice congratulatory text the next day. I mean, he's a class act, but I can't say I expected it. But I mean, I was destroyed.
I wouldn't go as far as calling him a class
Andy
act.
Dalton.
I mean, he's still trying to make trades with me, but I don't like him. So, fair enough.
Yeah, Aaron sent me some stuff today. Like, who's trading Lamar Jackson now? Like, he's asking me to, no, it's just terrible. But that's how it is.
One
you
thing
just
I
got to pass him
told Slushy Boy yesterday was after I didn't like his trade, I said, you've got to remember that this is my league, and I know what everybody's thinking because I'm watching all of the same guys that they're watching on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. I check it all, man.
Yeah.
Mama knows.
I didn't do a lot of that at all this year, so
Well,
we'll see
that's
how
enough
it
of
turns
you.
out.
That's enough
But
of
I'm
you for
very
now.
grateful for the win.
But
Yes. Are you sure? Because I'm not. I haven't. I
well,
don't feel like it's
let me
enough. But
say
go
this.
on. I
You know,
understand.
I talked about him leaving his potential G Pow on the bench, which is the greatest pickup and play of the week. There were no
Yeah.
pows this week from any pickups. But I will say this. I did notice this. There were 2 pows from drafted players. Of course, your Lamar's 5 touchdowns helped you win and overcome that huge deficit that really seemed about as wide as Aaron's gaping holes from Barry this past weekend.
Emotional damage.
Woo,
But I
that's
gotta
why.
give a lot of credit to Barry for drafting Russell Wilson, right? He drafted him not knowing whether he was going to start
Yeah.
or not, and he was just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then, boom!
Boom.
He deployed him at just the right time en route to a route rape of Kid Free. I gotta give Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, good for him.
Aaron, let
That's
me
how
give
you
you a
do
bit
it.
of advice. I might go to Walgreens before it gets shut down, grab some Plan B just in case, because there's a chance Barry left some kids in
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, I mean, he's already thrown some of it up. We don't know how much. I don't know how much got
Well,
left
one of the
behind.
things I didn't tell you
yeah,
is
okay.
some of it came out one end and some of it came out the other. So there's a chance some of the kids are in the Apex Hunter Street bathroom. Anyways, continuing with the fun about Aaron, we move on to the slimmest victory, which is the Not Aaron Award. And Marcus, I'll tell you what, another matchup where I thought I had it in the bag until Monday night, and I'm sure. I mean, I know Narin was sitting there thinking he had it in the bag, but I was so sure that I was easily going to move on to 5-2, just hoping that young Sheldon and Bangalore Bobby
India
took the L like Narin takes loose change for Slurpees. But I'll be damned. I will be damned if Justin's surprise fantasy quarterback draft of Baker Mayfield, which could be a fantasy quarterback of the year surprise candidate, that dude decided to not only have a Monday night, but have a second half on a Monday night. And I'll tell you what, I didn't watch the games, but at one point I went and saw what the scores were, and I had to go and I had to check. I was down by 1 point, and I just literally started sweating.
Whoa.
Wow! Okay!
I was screaming at my phone saying, throw the ball to Lad McConkey for crying out loud. That's the only thing I have left. But then it happened. And we'll talk about this probably a little bit later. I won the game, and I lost my number one guy who catches ball in the same dang play. I was able to eat out a 5-point victory over Grass, which makes me the Not Aaron victory of the week for the slimmest win. Yes.
Congratulations.
And I'll tell you what, it was scary. I was happy it happened. I lost my wide receiver 1. I do get Cooper Kupp back this week. Hopefully he turns into old Cooper Kupp. Whether he gets traded or not, we'll see. But might have some shenanigans to work out here. But anyways, enough about me for once until a little bit later. And we move on to the weakest GM. And if I've said it once, I've said it for the second week in a row, Marcus. I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for
today, Junior.
I mean, to believe that a former multi-time champion and our defending champion and father of the year is an absurd 1-6 to start the season, I wouldn't have taken that bet. It's unreal to think about. I wouldn't have taken that bet either. I mean, he wasn't even able to break the century mark this week with a paltry 85. Matter of fact, the margin of victory that Barry won over Aaron would almost beaten Hank this weekend. That's how bad it was for both of those guys.
Let me ask you something. Is Aaron's point total the lowest
It is
in league
not,
history?
believe it or not. And I
Are you
have to go back
serious?
and look, and maybe I'll put it on the edits later. There was somebody, I believe, that scored in the 50s one year. But it was not the
Ouch.
lowest, but I have to double check that. I didn't have time before the podcast to do it. But the fact that Barry's margin of victory was 80 and Hank scored 85 is mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling, isn't it?
Did you just say mind-boggling?
Yeah, mind-boggling. You know, when things are so crazy, it gets your thoughts all trapped like in a bottle.
So, I never would have thought a guy that's got Patrick Hank's homie as quarterback, Travis Swift at tight end, Justin Hebert, if he were a Saint, and a guy who catches balls named Mike Evans, R.I.P., and the absolute widest receiver in the league, Debo. I mean, have you seen the size of this guy lately?
Debo.
Looks like he's been eating James Harden. But I would never guess with all those guys he'd be 1-6. But I gotta say, I guess that champion hangover is a real thing.
It is for him this year. That's for sure.
I gotta get away from the depressing Hank and move on to one of our favorites in the league for the biggest blowout. And yep, it's Aaron. 80-point loss.
Yeah.
And I gotta say this, Aaron. Okay, I know you.
He's a repeat. He's a repeat appearer on this list, right?
Because I DP'd him once before too, and this was even a bigger DP than I DP'd him. But let me get serious for a second. I know you had to put your dog down, and that's tough. And then last week you put your other dog down in Marcus. We know. But buddy, you may want to look in the mirror. Okay. Think about what's best for you and Mary Sarah. Give me a call, and I will be very happy to go ahead and Jack Kevorkian in your roster, so that you can, because if it's too hard for you, I'll go ahead and put another dog down for you.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's one list you don't want to be
Well,
on.
It's going to move us into our Charlie Orndorff saddest performance. And I think we all know who it is. Yep. It's named after his predecessor and mentor. The Charlie Orndorff for the week is none other than Aaron. Yep.
Ouch. Damn.
Sometimes you get these weeks. I mean, he did it to himself. Let's be honest. He did it to himself last week with the roast of everybody plus Barry. So he's only got himself to blame.
Yeah. Yep. Not much sympathy around the league,
but
I'm
now
sure,
we move
for
on
him
to
regarding that.
Like Marcus said one time, the Obama years of the White House for our biggest disappointment award. And you know what? I thought Flip Flop was actually going to pull this one out. Then I would have had to give the biggest disappointment to Cool Rob, and you never want to do that to somebody so cool. But
he is really cool.
Praise the good Lord above. Flip Flop's roster is like Barry's dreams of driving ever again. It's a perpetual disappointment. So Cool Rob pulled it out, beat him. And I can't give Flops just another award again. It's just been a disappointing season for him as a whole. So I'm actually going to go a little bit of a different route this week with the biggest disappointment award, because Jeffrey, I'm actually disappointed for you, not in you.
Ooh,
but it's almost just like bad dumb luck for him. I mean, he had 122 this week, which is nothing to sneeze at. And you know what? The trades that him and I have made have been solid. London putting up numbers. Mixon putting up numbers. I mean, who would have ever thought we would have said that about a Mixon? Even Bo Mix is turning it on just a little bit, but for some reason this week you decided to start Juju Smith-Schuster in the OP position.
Where?
You do know that it's
What?
2024, right? Like Juju was the same one,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I'm a little confused as to why maybe you didn't throw Bo Nix.
I think he smoked a fatty and was watching the NFL Network replay of an old game from 20
It
years
might have
ago
been
the
a
other
classic
night.
that he had put on by accident. And
Oh,
it gotta
dude,
hit him.
I got to start him
Sometimes
this
when
week.
he's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever sit back for $20 bill? On weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go! Red team go!
You just don't know.
That's
So,
what it is.
but he had a giant goose egg in there, and I mean he lost to a really good young Sheldon, who we'll get to in a little bit later.
Stacking up the wins, man.
I had to sit here and wonder, Marcus. It made me think, right? Maybe he called tech support before this one to troubleshoot his lineup. And after he waited for a good 2.5 hours, maybe tech support was like, "Have you tried turning it off and back on again, sir?" That seems to fix most things, but
yeah,
that putting Bo Nix in there wouldn't have beaten Ryan since he's on a tear lately. I hope he's peaking a little bit too soon.
Yeah, he is.
But I just look at Jeff's lineup. I'm very impressed, and it's just he's got the bad luck fantasy blues right now. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
For you. So
I get it.
But speaking of Ryan, we got to move on to the highest points of the week.
Really? Hi.
And, oh dear, young Sheldon back at it again with the highest points. 155 points this week.
Ooh, man, it's that Jordan Love pick, man. I like Jordan Love from last year, and he's just moving it right back on.
I gotta give myself a
roster.
little credit though. You notice how I like to kind of like get on people a little bit and how they perform.
Yeah, just a little.
So that could be it. And then we move on to our Bryce Young bench of the week.
We're benching you.
And this is a fun one. All right. Stick with me. Stay with me. Stay tuned to the end because you're going to want to hear all of this one. But it's apropos, isn't it? After his GM of the week last week, beating the bad guy, and then he roasted the entire league. This week, he can't even break 70. Right? Wait. Let me correct myself. He had 73 points on the bench.
Wow.
His entire bench beat his starting lineup.
That's got to be a first. That's got to be a league first.
It gets worse. I mean, better. Depending on how you're watching this right now. But get this. Stick with me. There's going to be some statistics in here. There's going to be a test at the end. His bench had 7 players on it. Technically 5. 2 were on a bye. He had one quarterback on his bench beat his starting roster his bench with 5 players, including one quarterback, beat his entire starting roster of 9 players with 2 QB1s starting.
Jeez Louise.
Wait. His kicker.
Wow.
The kicker outscored every single player on his starting roster. The kicker.
Whoa.
And the kicker almost outscored both of his starting quarterbacks combined. They scored a total of 19 points. His kicker scored 17 points. But I'm not even done.
Jeez Louise.
I'm not
Holy
done.
cow.
His kicker outscored both of his starting running backs combined. They had 16 points combined. His kicker had 17. And
Wow, that's a good week
I'm
for
not
a
done.
kicker.
To make matters
Oh
better,
my gosh.
or worse for him, his injured reserve spot had 10 points, which included, with the 73 on his bench, his total on the bench was 83 points.
Oh my.
He scored 68.
Oh my
He
goodness
almost had a
gracious.
chance to beat the margin of loss that Barry beat him by with his full 83 to 80. But I'm not done. I'm not done.
Jeez Louise.
I'm not done.
There's more?
Stick with me.
Holy
Even
crap.
better, his entire non-IR roster spot, which was the 73 points, both starters and bench for Aaron, combined without the IR spot, still would have lost to Barry by 7 points. Hey,
Oh my goodness
no
gracious.
roast needed. No roast needed, Aaron.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
It's just facts. I mean, it's
That
just, yeah.
might
Jeez. That's a
in
lot
the
of
13
information.
years of your mom, that might be the greatest statistical anomaly award ever given. I feel like we need to buy something for that.
Yeah,
Maybe a bumper
geez
sticker that he has
Louise.
to put on his
Oh.
car with all those stats. That's absolutely insane, those numbers.
That is definitely something.
And I
Holy
mean,
crap.
that is a wonderful way to end the awards this week. Sadly, my favorite award, the Wee Pee-Pee.
This is my pee-pee.
There were no Wee Pee-Pees this week. So nobody got any of the Wee Pee-Pees. So
Oh.
everybody enjoy your big Pee-Pees. But Aaron's Bryce Young bench of the week, killer to end it with. And before I go, Marcus, and let you start ranting, there's been a little bit of a shakeup in the rankings.
Ooh.
So here we go.
All right.
And I think we all know who
Let's do it.
number 12 is, and it's the Hank.
Yeah.
He's down to
Sad to
he's down
see
to 1
that,
and 5.
man.
Dude, we still love you, but maybe show your face a little bit and get away from your kids once in a while. Maybe you'll win a game. Moving down 1 spot to number 11 is Flip Flops. McFadden is at 2 and 5, and Marcus, I still think he's sleeping on the boardwalk. Somebody might want to wake him up.
Yeah, well, you know, he's making moves. I saw he made a couple
making
of
enough.
free agency
Those,
pickups today. I mean, he's doing
those two
something.
rosters, they need a something. They need something done there. They can't do it. So
Yeah.
here's where the controversy starts. So people are going to be pretty pissed off right now. But coming in at number 10, down 4 spots. Kids Free is back.
Ooh, that's a
Aaron
big
is
drop.
3 and 4. I
Wow.
had to make him the biggest loser. Think about it. Anyways, number 9, Grass. Oh, go
Listen, hold on. Hold on. So, the funny thing is, how many championships in that bottom 3? I mean, think about it. I mean, that's a lot of. That's like what, 7 championships at the
between
bottom
numbers
3.
11, 12, and 10. Crazy.
How the mighty have
Oh my
fallen.
gosh. Yeah. It's
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Commish. My bad. I just
right? Like I said before, your mind gets all trapped up
Yeah.
in a
It's just like
bottle.
wow.
Anyways, number 9 is Grass.
Yeah.
Justin. He had
Okay.
to drop 2 more spots. Sorry, Justin. But just not a good performance against me and Commish. So what can you do? My rolls, I'll drop you down 2 more. Keep talking, I'll drop you down even more. Anyways, number 8, the mad scientist, Jeff. You stayed still this week. You had a loss. I didn't like your loss. I thought it was a little unfair for you. I was a little disappointed for you. So at 3 and 4, you come to number 8. But the boner of the week, for the largest rise,
It's called a murder boner.
Mr. Barry and your Huel Dogs, you're up 4 spots.
Oh, go for it, Big Bad,
We'll see
making
what
moves.
happens next week,
Okay.
but how can you not, with such an impressive victory, move him up in the rankings? It's just hard not to do. He could drop way
Can't do
back
it. Yeah,
down
you
next
have to.
week
Yeah,
because his roster's not that great, but boy, did they perform this week. And Russell Wilson might be the steal if he has another game like that. It might propel him even further.
Yeah, I'm still not buying what the Steelers are selling, even as a Steeler fan. But okay, you're right.
At the same time,
Go ahead.
you know what? He was in the finals last year. He needed a quarterback this year. He had nobody in that OP spot. He might have just found it, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, somehow this guy, up to number 3, spent the entire day at the NC State Fair with them on Wednesday. Jake's in charge, is at 4-3. I don't know how. I can't see it lasting much longer.
I don't know how
but
either.
somehow the boy is 4-3. Coming in at number 5, our top 5, we stay the same at number 5. Mr. Untouchable, Rob, wins his
Very
week.
cool, by the way.
Stays the same.
Yeah.
Too cool to move anywhere. And here we go. Top 4. I know he's going to swear at the camera right now. It's going to be awesome. But down 3 spots is number 4, tech support, Mr. Control-Alt-Delete. And I got to say, hey.
Wow, that's a
you might
big
need
drop.
to Control-Alt-Delete and restart your team after this tough loss. You might got some malware in there somewhere.
Jeez,
hey,
okay.
No surprise,
all right, so where we
comeback of the year against our top ranked guy last week. You come in at 4-3. You move up 1 spot, and that's just what happens when you have huge comebacks against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. So that puts me at what, 3?
And
okay, yeah, all right. I'm
number
still
2, your good old COMMISHTRO moves up a spot to number 2 with a 5-2 record, and I still hate my freaking 2 losses. They're terrible losses. Or otherwise, I would be this guy in the number 1 power. Wouldn't have guessed it. Start of the season, young Sheldon, 5-2,
Nope.
number 1, up 1 spot from number 2 last week. I got nothing else to say. Was very surprised. Team looks good. But him and I are the only 5-2 teams. So it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks to see what happens. Hopefully my guys will get the train rolling and just keep running. But Ryan's had 2 high weeks in a row now. So his team's definitely scoring some points.
Maybe he's on a run. Yeah, I mean, he rode it out with that Jordan Love injury, and best thing that can happen for the rest of the league is for Jordan Love to get hurt again.
Hey, that's it for the Week 7 Weekly Awards. Now it's time for the Rants of a Madman. What do you got for us, bad guy?
All right, I got a few things today. I'm going to save my rant to the last point because it's a big one this week, really big. And I'm talking about like there's like secretaries and attorneys involved. I mean, this is serious, big time stuff. So I'm going to save that for the end. But I got a quick question for you first. Kansas City Chiefs keep plugging in holes. Are they going to finally be the first team to keep those Miami Dolphin guys from popping champagne?
Everything's been too close with them. We'll see after a bye week. I don't know when their bye is, but we'll see what they decide to turn around.
Yeah, but dude, you can't bet against Andy Reid after a bye week.
I know that.
You know that.
My point is, we'll see if they get defeated before that. Every game that they've played has almost been like the referees are making it so Patty Mahomes doesn't make mistakes. It's crazy.
They do get the Jordan treatment on the field.
It's worse.
But I mean, I guess they've earned it. But I mean, yeah,
Jordan, man.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, Jordan got some treatment.
No,
right?
I mean,
Jordan
it's just the blatant stuff.
But he didn't get anything to the likes of this. I mean, the way he just the other night, the one little bit that I watched of that game, it looked like he was just going to run out of bounds, and he stops, and everyone just blows by, and then he runs for another 20 yards down the field, and it's like, Anybody else, and they would have said, "Oh no, his forward progress was stopped there." He, and it was just, I don't know. There's just something there, Marcus, that it just seems like somehow they get lucky enough to pull it out. But I don't think that they can go undefeated. I think there's some teams that will beat them, and even if they do make it all the way to the Super Bowl, and let's say they play the Lions, I think the Lions are better. I think they're a better team than.
I agree. I think that I think there's no guarantee that they win the Super
But it's
Bowl.
also, it's also, hey,
I will say this.
I know it's your rant time, but they're also the Chiefs, and it's also the parity of the NFL. They're going to have a week where it just doesn't, and it could be just a squeaker field goal that beats them, or they could get blown out by 50. It's going to be one of the two.
And I got to tell you, my gut tells me they're going to lose to somebody that nobody expects them to lose to.
A team that they shouldn't lose to. That's
like they'll be, that team that they absolutely shouldn't lose to. Those are the games that I would circle and watch out for to say this could be when they lose. I tend to agree. I don't see how they can pull it off because some of that stuff is smoke and mirrors, but it does highlight what a great coach Andy Reid is, and getting the most out of your talent and be able to change the game plan. And I hope no other owner falls for giving Steve Spagnuolo another chance as a head coach in the NFL, because I mean the guy's just a great defensive coordinator and he should just
I mean
stay
they've had a good defense
just
since he's been there.
Yeah.
And their defense is hard to say this, but their defense is the best part of the team. Offense doesn't look, they just don't
absolutely
look right.
Nah, they haven't looked absolutely right since Tyreek Hill left, but they still manage. I mean, but it's well coached,
and Patrick Mahomes so figure something out, even though he's not the best player in the league right now. But he makes things happen when they need to happen.
Who do you think is?
So, but unfortunately for Hank, it's not helping him at all. Their team wins aren't helping Hank's team win.
That's for sure. And I'm guessing Lamar's the best player in the league right now.
Possible MVP, right?
Hard to go. Again. All right. Next thing I had for you was, so you saw what happened to Chris Godwin the other night. What is your opinion on star players playing at the end of blowout games? Should they be in there or should they be on the bench?
Somehow I knew we were going to talk about this, probably because you told me before we came on. But I think that you're paid to play, man. You're going to get hurt, walk into the locker room, taking a shower, tripping over your carpet at home. You can't expect this to happen. And you know what? I gotta give them credit. I hear the blowout talk, but they were really. I mean, they got that onside kick. They were making another run. I mean, they might have opted to kick it there instead of trying to go for those extra yards. But it was a freak play. I mean, it was a freak play. Aiden Hutchinson got hurt in the middle of the game, and you couldn't. What excuse were you going to make there? Sometimes it's NFL, guys are big, guys are huge, guys are fast, and you get hurt. If you've ever played the game of football, no matter what level, from high school to college or whatever, sometimes just something happens. And I don't think that if a game is completely out of control, like those Eagles and the Giants, go ahead. Don't play the guys. If it's 28-3, and let some of the young guys learn, especially if you have a young team. But not in this case. In this case, they were fighting. They were fighting and clawing to try to make this game tighter than the Ravens wanted it to be. So I give them credit. Again, just a freak play. The guy tackled him, fell on his ankle, and I don't think there's really anything you can do about the game to take that away.
Nah, and I like it. And I mean, it's like, what is it? Herm Edwards said, you play to win the games, and that.
Hello, you play to win the game.
That's what you do. You suppose. I mean, that's what, and I'll give them credit. I think it's also a reflection of the attitude of Baker Mayfield and the people running the ship there, because Baker was trying until the very end to win that game, and that's actually that's what you want. You want you guys to be trying till the end. Now, if it's a road game, maybe you can make a case for let's sit some of the guys earlier, but when you still got a hair of a chance to make it happen, and your main guy is pushing for the rest of the guys to be in there because he wants to try it, no matter how minute the possibility is of coming back, you got to let your guys do it. That's what people pay to see. These guys are professional athletes. It can happen. It happened to that guy where in Philadelphia slipped on the tarp. you know, and
Let
his
me
career was over.
Let me
I
tell you
mean,
this.
so
I would much rather have my guys in there playing who are making 10, 15, 20 million dollars a year, playing hard, trying to win, than a guy making 5, 10, 15, 20 million dollars a year just going half-assed, just to go through the motions. And whether he
absolutely.
gets hurt or not get hurt, I would rather have that than the other way around.
Absolutely. So, you know, I agree. I think you put him in there and yeah, and you want your guys to want to be there. So I agree with that. I think we're on the same page. Okay, so that leads us to our final point, and this is a big deal. You know, when they say you know that you're famous when you've got to hire a lawyer to deal with your lawsuits. Well, us being the opposite of that to an extreme, you know that saying, the pen is mightier than the sword.
I've got to ask you about the penis mightier.
No, that's the pen is mightier.
Gussy it up however you want, Trebek. What matters is, does it work? Will it really mighty my penis, man?
It's not a product, Mr. Connery.
Because I've ordered devices like that before. Wasted a pretty penny. I don't mind telling you. And if the penis mightier really works, I'll order a dozen.
It's not a penis mightier, Mr. Connery. There's no such thing.
Well, I decided, and we've had lead discussions. I was watching, unfortunately, a pregame show the other day. And so you got these guys on Fox, and you got Terry Bradshaw, that guy that's built like a thumbtack.
Yeah.
What is it, Glazer? He's built like a damn thumbtack. Why? That guy's got a body and a face for radio. Why is he on television? But anyway, so you got these clowns in the middle of some studio, and they're running a play.
Yeah.
And they're running a play. What is the viewer getting out of that? Nobody's wanted to see Terry Bradshaw to throw a pass for 40 years. Why is he still, it's an insult. It's terrible.
Fucking embarrassing.
It's terrible TV. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody gets anything out of it other than it gives those guys an opportunity to have an inopportune circle jerk on TV. It's terrible. It should not be allowed on TV.
Marcus,
so
what do you
I've
think
decided,
we should do?
I think. Well, no, we've already done it. The wheels are in motion. So, the wheels are in motion. We're not stagnant here. We are issuing a cease and desist order to the NFL Network, Fox Sports, ESPN, telling them they've got to stop this in those shows. Nobody wants to see it. We don't allow it anymore. It's totally contradictory to the message of football and what the fan base is looking for. And if they're not going to take us seriously, we're also copying Roger Goodell. I got the first one right here. I don't know if you could see it. Cease and desist order. But this is going out. This is going out in the mail. I mean, I tried to get the guys in the mailroom to send it out for us, but realized we don't have one. So I'm going to have to actually buy stamps myself. But these are going in the mail, and let's see what they respond. But I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it. I'm not going to let it go. And I wish Johnny Cochran was still alive, because this is his kind of case. Maybe we can get that guy from Seinfeld.
It's lewd, lascivious, salacious, outrageous. It's got chocolate, peanuts, nougat. It's delicious, scrumptious, outstanding. My vacation was restful, resplendent, magnificent. That's deplorable, unfathomable, improbable. I am shocked and chagrined, mortified and stupefied. It's outrageous, egregious, preposterous. It's definitely preposterous.
What's the guy's name? I forget his name now. The lawyer guy from Seinfeld. But anyway, the wheels are in motion, and we're doing it. And we're going to use all of the legal authority that we have within us to bring this to their attention and tell them it's got to stop. It's stupid. It's stupid.
You want to talk about
yeah, that's it, man.
Breaking news.
It's big news. Yeah, man. So look for it tonight and out there, and we're going to get this into somebody's hands there, and they have to answer for it.
Unreal.
I'm sorry.
It's crazy.
It's terrible.
Crazy news, Marcus.
It's
it is. Yeah, we don't need to be seeing those guys run plays out there. I think we said this last week. Everybody that's watching football, we know enough about football. We don't need them running the plays for us. It's bad enough we got it's bad enough we got these guys on as color analysts, and some of them are colored analysts, and they just don't know what they're talking about, or it's so obvious it's insulting.
It's fucking embarrassing.
So, yeah, none of this stuff needs to happen.
Stupid. And when did the telestrator become outdated?
For real, right?
Remember the guy would come out with the thing on the screen? I kind of liked that. It was simple, but I could follow along. It made more sense to me. We need more telestrators. I didn't put that. I'm not going to put that in the letter because I can't tell them how to do their job, but I can tell them that part of it has to stop. It's got to stop. It's got to go. Got to go. And I will keep you posted to the legal proceedings. And I'm going to say this online now. We will gladly have Roger Goodell on as a special guest if he wants to answer for these guys.
About 15 people, so we've got some
that's where we're going with that. I'm going to keep you guys posted on any potential stuff that we get back. If you're an attorney watching this and want to represent us in this manner, I mean, we've got a small budget, but maybe we can talk. But right now, I forget what the word is when you defend yourself in the lawsuit. But that's what we're doing, and we're taking it to the end until it stops. You know what? That's what I'm going to do. Every time I see it, we're going to send another letter. What is this name? 70 cents now? We can't afford it, but I'll figure out a way. I mean, but every time I see it, I'm sending another letter until they stop. It's ridiculous and it's insulting and it's terrible.
Let us know if you want to join the cause, guys. Comment, subscribe, do all that stuff down below.
Like and subscribe, and tune into the enhanced 2.0 version on YouTube where you get the cool video edits. And we're going to insert the actual cease and desist order in that. So please give that a look and a like. And we're going to put that in there. And I think you've got some pregame stuff for this coming week before we get out of here. That's it for me. That's one thing. Absolutely. Don't you think that's big enough? It's just took up a lot of my time.
So, hey, real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the previews of Week 8. Marcus can go back to his actual job that makes him money and not this podcast. But we're going to start off with COMMISHTRO versus the Untouchables of Apex. And, man, I got to play Cool Rob this week. I like my chances. I'm not so sure about his quarterback play right now, but I will say that I'll pull this one out. Maybe slightly. And moving on to the Mad Scientist, he gets to play Aaron this week. Is there a chance? They're within the margin of error right now. Really hard to tell. I like the Mad Scientist. I like his lineup. And let's see how he does. I'm calling Jeffrey for the newest win. And his, by the way, his new name is, I forget. Anyway, Heated Hefe.
So does he.
After our softball game the other night, he got a bit fired up. So his new name is Heated Hefe. Moving on, Young Sheldon plays Grass. I think we all know that Young Sheldon's going to continue probably his high points again. Grass, sorry, you're just like those New Orleans Saints. Started off hot, now you're ice cold. Barry gets to play flip-flops. There's a chance Barry pulls out another giant win this week, moves himself up to 500.
I think you might be too drunk.
So I didn't make the big catch. Okay? So I wasn't prom queen. Okay? So I wasn't sports king. Okay? So I'm not muscle man, okay? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not me.
I don't see flip-flops having a chance in this one, so I'm going to call Big Bear. Control-Alt-Delete. Looks like he probably gets his winning ways back as he plays Jake this week, but hey, let's see what the rookie Drake May decides to have up his sleeve this week. But I do believe that Banglador Bobby is going to win this one. And finally, we got the Hank playing the bad guy. Sorry, Hank, I think you moved to 1-7. I just think the bad guy's got too much power for you. Again, unless Mr. Mahomey decides to have a huge week, one of his big weeks, which he's also due. But bad guy, I think you pull out 2 in a row this week. And that's it for the Week 8 review. Hopefully I move to 6-2. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Well, actually, you're not my division, so I don't care. But I need to find somebody to beat Young Sheldon, man, because I got to catch him. All right, so this is us signing off till next week. We'll keep you posted on the legal proceedings. See you next week, guys. Later, Commish. Have a good one, brother. Bye-bye.
Pay me my money.
Well, how's it feel, Delaney? You did so much blow, you're in the no-show. Hey, is that Coke on your nose? I'm calling the cops. Hey, Delaney, let's get an 8-ball. Put some porn on. Hey, you better check your balance. I heard you left your card in the ATM, you fucking loser.
Knock it off, Shorzy.
Schnurr.
No one's bugging you over here.
Schnurr.
Don't bug us. We won't bug you.
Shut the fuck up, Schnurr, you old fuck. Hey, you up late doing some of that Chuck Sheen? Little uptown, little nose cardio? Hey, what does that remind you of, Delaney? Hey, what does that remind you of? Oh boy, it's sure great to be able to breathe out of my nose right now, Delaney, I gotta tell you.
I played through worse, Shorzy.
Shut up.
And against better.
You feel like shit.
Playing guilty is a performance enhancer.
You're still high.
You watch.
I think you're still high.
Shut the fuck up, Shorzy.
For what?
Shut your fucking mouth.
Hey, take it easy, big boy.
You don't go near him.
The cops are coming. Let's get out of here. Come on. Let's go.
Fuck you.
Hurry.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. Hey, you want this?
What are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do?